Hope you can hear me over the wind. I've moved off early this morning because after having a weekend of strong winds, I've checked the weather and it seemed to be continuing till Thursday. Today's Monday, so it was a bit of a frantic move off because the wind was pushing me away from the bank. So as soon as those ropes were untied from the mooring pins, obviously the boat wanted to push out. But luckily, all is well. Just got to the first lock. Got 3.9 miles to the next lock, and then after that a long stretch down to the following one. It's a very quiet time of the year on the river, but I am finding, although a lot of the locks are on self-service, you can be halfway through doing the lock and the lock keeper will appear, which is handy. Still a mighty windy day. Got moored up. It's when you're on your own and you've got this kind of wind, it's you just got to do everything really quickly. You know, you're pulling the boat in quickly, grabbing a pin. Well, what I do is I tend to, as I'm mooring up, I throw the pins and the mooring pins and the mallet off first, jump off, pull the boat in, go to the mid rope, keep that pulled in, sort of stand on it while I'm knocking one of the mooring pins in, just loop it through the hole, quickly tie it off, get the stern in, and then go back to the mid and actually set that up properly, and then put the bow rope in. I've actually, whenever I'm round here, the rowers are, I'm going to say the support boats are really inconsiderate. It's the only stretch where they will come blasting full blast next to your boat, and because of that I generally throw at least one anchor weight down, because what it does is it just stops the boat from going crazy. It levels out a lot quicker. But most of the other stretches, especially if they see you on the boat, they will slow down. And today I was here with a fishing rod, and the guy was on the wrong side of the river, full blast, and then another one came up, and it is frustrating because you do the same to them when they're in the rowing boats and they go absolutely mental. Which I understand, but you know, let's all be considerate. I don't know. I'm just a mid 50-year-old moany git. Right, one more, and then I'm going to call it. Well, call it for a bit. At least I've got a client at. Going to train him in his lunch hour just for half hour, so I've not eaten anything yet. I've been doing quite a lot of fasting in the mornings. It looked like it, well, it was, the wind had died down for a little bit, that's why I came back out here, but it's picked right up again. Yeah, if anything, it's getting worse. Right, I'm going to call that because nothing's going on. Come on in. Ellie, bring. Good girl. So I've been upstream for 7 months, away from most of the people I know on the river. I know the odd person further upstream, and obviously you get chatting to lock keepers, and I find a lot of these lock keepers further up are really friendly as well. I always have lots of chats with them. But apart from that and the odd visitor, I've been on my own for 7 months. I put a video out earlier in the year about being alone, and it was well received, apart from the odd comment from the odd YouTube keyboard warrior. Yeah, most people got it. Most people understood why at my near mid-50s I wanted to be on my own. But there was other reasons for that, which I'll come into probably at a later video. A little bit of a tester for myself, because many of us can say that we want to spend time alone, but long term, when it happens, our heads start sort of fighting with us a little bit. You know, thoughts come in that you can't shake off. I'm sure there's people out there who will understand what I mean. So I've been very pleased and surprised how easy I found it. Have I had days where probably would have been good to be around someone? Yeah, of course. I mean, I've spent a lot of my life, a lot of my earlier life, battling with mental health problems, and to do something like this where I'm spending time alone kind of shows to me how far I've come. Now, the people that will argue it will say you've had a couple of friends come up and see you. I work as a personal trainer online, so most days it's sort of one a day. There might be a day where there's two a day, normally an hour, and you know that can be quite social while they're sort of training as well. But you've got to remember that, and I say somebody said about I was on YouTube, but you've got to remember, even if you account 3 or 4 hours, well, let's say 3 hours of me maybe messaging with my parents and friends, social media messages, training a client online, maybe chat to a lockkeeper, there's still another 20, 21 hours where I'm on my own every day. And there's days where I don't have clients. There's days where, like I'm moored up here, where I haven't spoken to anyone other than WhatsApp messages. I haven't physically spoken to anyone for about 5 days. Question, and it has arisen before when I've been chatting to people, is do I get lonely? And the answer to that is yes. But here's the answer to a question that I've been asked before, even before I was upstream, just living on the boat, was do I get lonely? And as I've just said, I said yes. But my answer has always been, I get lonely the same sort of percentage. I know a lot of people that are married wish they were single. It's a natural thing. There's times you want to be on your own. When you're in a relationship, you don't want to give up that relationship, but it would be quite nice to have some time on your own. It's the same thing for me. I like being on my own. Excuse me. I like being on my own most of the time, but there's that little percentage where sometimes you wish maybe you were around friends, or if I said maybe I wish I was in a relationship, that kind of seems like it opens completely other doors. And I don't wish I was in a relationship. I've been in long-term relationship. I've been in lots of shorter-term ones through the years, and I'm really enjoying this time alone. And what I was saying earlier is it's kind of been a bit of a test for me. Is the last few videos I've mentioned about I want to move on to other things within this life, within living on a boat, but it won't be this boat. And one of the other reasons for me moving upstream was to see if I could handle that solitude. Because the thing I'm looking at doing next, there's no, when I say there's no going back, there will guaranteed be long times where I will be on my own. Now, if I hadn't have done this tester run, if you call it that, I could have sort of found myself in trouble mentally by just going, oh, I'll be fine, and going off and realising, wow, I really struggle being on my own. But you know, this has found. I'll be heading downstream soon. I'll be catching up with friends. I'll be seeing my parents. I've got other people that have been waiting to come and visit me, but the journeys have been a bit far for them. So I'll be having all that. But you know, that's after sort of 7 months. So yeah, going back to what I was just saying, it was kind of a bit of a tester for something. As I said in my last video, it's not a definite thing yet, but I do lots of research into things, including myself, before I actually set a plan to move forward and go for it, which will still take some time. So yeah, the answer is I do get lonely at times, but it's such a small percentage of the overall time that I do spend alone. And for me at this stage of my life, it's been a very healthy thing. And I think when you have got people around you or people you go to visit, you kind of I feel I will appreciate them more after this time that I haven't seen, you know, or been around people. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, leave comments if you know exactly what I'm on about. If you feel the need to write anything derogatory, please don't bother. It just screams that you're unhappy with your own lives when people do this. When I go onto popular channels I follow and see some of their comments, they're absolutely horrible. Some of them are just, you know, you kind of say that to their face or say that to my face. It just some really, I see it as some really unhappy people out there. This channel is about my life, same as the channels I watch. If you watch a channel on Sunday motor racing, the channel's going to be about their motor racing. If you watch a channel about a guy in his 50s living on his boat on his own, that's what it's going to be about. You don't have to, you can fast forward it, you can just not watch it. Watch a couple of minutes and go, no, this isn't for me. You know, it's not a personal thing, it's just, that's not for me. We have a choice of what we can watch. Ricky Gervais did that thing, didn't he? He said, like, it's like somebody putting an advert in a shop window for guitar lessons. Somebody going, oh, I don't want guitar lessons. Then it's not for you then, is it? You know, so anyway, let's leave that there. Let's not forget about this one. She's with me all the time. And there are times, I guess you could say, it is like having a person about. Hey.